Questions for the student athletes. Coach.
Give our guys a lot of credit. I just thought they really battled, found a way, to pull it out when it didn't always look that way, especially late. Guys made big plays across the board. All three of these guys made big plays. Four of these guys made big plays throughout the game. So great effort over a really good Iowa team. I think this Iowa team, obviously, we were down, 30 at their place, fellas? 30? So our guys had really good response, and credit to our guys. Good luck to Iowa in the NCAA tournament. I'm excited to follow them. I think they've got a really good team.
Start with questions for the student athletes. We'll start with Steve on the left.
Yep. Steve Hellwagon, Bucknuts at 24/7. For Roddy, Bruce throws you the pass there to the right wing with about 3.5 minutes to go, and you never hesitated. You took that shot, made the three-pointer, and that puts you guys ahead for good. You go up 3 at that point. Just what's going through your mind there to take and make a clutch shot in that moment with the game kind of on the line?
In that moment, I just felt comfortable, especially with Coach. I believe he has the utmost confidence in me and respect. So, with Bruce, we practice these things. These are just, another moment for us. We practice this stuff, late moment games, time and score. It just felt comfortable. It just felt like another shot, just another game, honestly.
Adam in the front row.
Adam Jardy with the Columbus Dispatch. Roddy, that stretch, though, you had, I think, 7 and 9 points. You scored all 9 of your points in the last 6 minutes. And then we've talked a lot about your defense and your offense kind of coming along. But what does it take in a game like that with the season on the line to make a couple of shots and to spark things?
I really have no explanation for it. You just got to do what you got to do, get the job done. I know that Coach wants me to be, have my presence felt on the offensive and defensive side. So, just stay aggressive and really defend my man and to do as much as the team needs me to do in order to win.
We'll go to the second row in the middle. Pat.
For any of you guys, Iowa came in shooting very well from 3, did not shoot as well today. What was it that you guys were able to do to limit them, and what had been a strength of theirs, especially in that second meeting at their place?
Sean, you take that.
I was a really good shooting team. Like you said, credit to them. They got a lot of good shooters. So it was probably 2 things. One, we did a really good job contesting, making them hit tough shots, or at least forcing tough ones. But I think, they just missed a couple shots. Just wasn't their day. Lucky for us.
Middle of the front row, Griffin.
You guys, maybe for the veteran guys, just in terms of, was that something from Roddy that you guys have seen all year in practice and stuff? Obviously he's been a great defender all year, but hasn't done it as a scorer like that as he did it late in the game. Is that something that you guys have seen all year that he maybe hasn't been able to show off as much?
Justice, then Sean.
Yeah, Roddy's more than capable. Fortunately, our team, we have a lot of talented guys, a lot of guys that can make plays, and Roddy was one to step up for this game, on the biggest stage to do that, and all of us have confidence in every guy that steps on the court, so it's just built on just hard work and belief and trust throughout this entire year.
Sean.
Yeah, man, Roddy's a gamer. Been showing it in practice. We all have belief in him. It's just a matter of time before, a night like this was bound to happen. Credit to Roddy. He was a big part of why we won the night.
Rob in the second row.
Lines, is that an evolution to start trusting guys? Maybe in the early part of the season, maybe you didn't have that trust, but now you do. Did it take some time, or from day one did you believe in each other?
Justice.
I think we believed in everyone's skill sets. We knew we had a really talented and special group of guys. I just think as the season went on, obviously guys got more comfortable just playing with each other, and just kind of just meshing as far as, making, or what's it called, just kind of bouncing off of each other as far as how we play with certain guys on the court. So Roddy did a great job today playing to his strengths, and it made a big difference for us.
Second row on the right.
Hey guys, Jack Emerson, Buckeye Sports Bulletin. For any one of you, you guys had a 5:30 tip last night, 1:30 tip off today, and then a 1:30 tip off tomorrow. What kind of things do you focus on in terms of recovery from game to game when you're in, kind of a tournament like this?
Bruce.
You gotta get in the ice bath. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do all the small things. Athletic trainer tell us to do, like soft tissue, all the small things. Make sure you get your rest, because yesterday was a quick turnaround, and we gotta lock into the attention to details we had to for the Iowa game. So the next game we gotta do the same thing. I feel like we'll come out to win.
Left-hand side, Steve.
Yeah, 2 more of the big shots there in the last 2 minutes. Justice, you've been fighting the three-pointer a little bit all season, but you that was a crazy play. The ball's fumbled around, and you even fumbled it, and they didn't call double dribble. I don't know what was going on there, but you made the
It
three.
wasn't a double dribble. so-
Wasn't a double dribble, just a fumble?
Yeah, just a fumble.
Okay. And so you hit the three, and then Bruce made a high bank shot there on a drive with about a minute to go. If you could each talk about those two plays, what happened? Go ahead.
Justice and Bruce.
Yeah, I mean, at the start of the second half, I was a little hesitant shooting the three. Deeb was telling me I need to let that go, regardless of how I was feeling. So, the next opportunity I had, I hit a three in that corner, gave me a little bit of confidence, and then the following play, Bruce trusted me to hit that shot at the end of the game as well. So it's just trust and confidence, and just trying to get the job and come out with a win.
Bruce.
Like what Sway said, we just have confidence in each other. We see each other hit that shot multiple times in practice, walk through. So when in the game, it's like second nature. I got confidence in anybody for making any shot on the court. So when he made the shot, it was just another shot that I see every day. So I'm proud of the guys today. We got the win. It's just time to move on to Michigan State.
We'll take two more for the student athletes on the right-hand side in third row.
To any of you, do you feel less tense as you go into this tournament knowing you don't have as much to lose compared to these other teams in terms of postseason play?
No team in this league, I think, is a pushover. So it's important for us to always, have the same level of approach with each team. So like Bruce said, we got to stay focused on the details and get ready for Michigan State tomorrow.
All right, we'll go to Adam in the front row.
Justice and Bruce, I think you were both on the court, but the last 20 seconds, that scramble play, the ball goes all the way up the court. Everybody's diving everywhere. What did you guys see on that play? What did it take to persevere through that and just kind of keep fighting? Because they'd have got possession, it could have flipped things. Justice, start.
When it got to that loose ball that I had to dive on, I wasn't too sure who had the tie up, so I kind of let Bruce, I threw it to Bruce to kind of get that going. So I mean, do we have the time up? Yeah, they had the time up. So I mean, it ended up working out. I threw it to Bruce. He was able to catch it.
I think I told you that at the timeout.
Yeah, I might have forgot. But hey, it worked out at the end. We were able to stay composed, and Roddy made a good play in the backcourt.
Bruce, your thought on that play?
It basically sums up the whole game. It was a back and forth game the whole game. So for us to come out with that possession just shows that we just wanted it more. When Sway passed me the ball, I was just not finna hold it. I was finna go score it. So at the end of the day, but I'm glad we fought and we got the possession and we locked in at the end. We got the win. So I'm proud of my guys and proud of the coaching staff.
All right, you guys can head back to the locker room. We'll continue with questions for Coach Holtmann. If you have a question for Coach, please raise your hand. We'll start on the right side.
Coach, for the first time in tournament history, the lower seed has won the first 4 games. You've now been fortunate to be part of 2 of those matchups. How are you planning on keeping up that momentum going up against Michigan State?
Yeah, I didn't know that. It's an interesting stat. Yeah, I think it speaks to the depth of the league, which we all know really well. The league's really deep and balanced. I think we're just focused on, continuing to play well, which we've done for the last few weeks. Just want to focus on that.
We'll go to Rob in the second row.
Chris, yesterday it was Sean. Today it's Roddy. I think Bryce wasn't on the floor like the last 3 minutes. You've done this again a long time. Is this what has to happen to advance? You get guys who aren't expected to do something? Something?
Yeah, Bryce he wasn't feeling great. So that was part of the reason for that. Actually kind of the reason for that. So, guys, I was really proud of Roddy. He's put in a lot of work, and he's had Bruce and other guys who've kind of had really big seasons. Obviously, Bryce as freshman, and sometimes you can compare yourself to them, and it can bother you. And I think he's just stayed with working. We've had a lot of conversations. He just stayed with it, stayed working. And I was really happy for Roddy to see this moment because we have a really high level belief in what he's going to be. We just really do.
We'll go to Mike on the right side, front row.
Chris, do you see a different look in the eye, a different tone of voice, a different demeanor in the last few weeks? And how much is just simply confidence part of what's gone on with you guys lately?
Well, I think that's part of it, Mike. But I think the reality is there were too many times throughout this year. Listen, there is a way you need to play when you're struggling and maybe you're down. And I think our team had to learn to play the right way when we go through adversity in games. And that's been a hard lesson for us. and it's taken us a minute to understand that. There's a way you got to play to give yourself a chance. Tonight was a great example. We've been saying that over and over, and I think it's been validated in how our guys have performed, really starting with the first half at Purdue. You play the right way, you give yourselves a chance. We've done that, and on top of that, I think when you see some success, obviously confidence comes with that.
We'll go on the left-hand side.
Coach, advancing tomorrow to face Michigan State, what is that preparation like, having those past 2 results this season against the Spartans?
Well, they obviously got us really good at our place. We played really well at their place on senior night. They're a terrific team. It's as good a Michigan State team as the Final Four team. They shoot it as well as that team. They're different in their makeup, but I think it's as good as Michigan State team as maybe we played. I think they're terrific. So it'll be a great challenge.
Griffin in the front row, then Adam, then Dana.
Coach, you guys had 10 steals today. It seems like you guys have been getting like really active in the passing lanes, knocking balls free and stuff like that. Has that been like a specific emphasis coming in? Because it seems like the last 2 games here.
It has. You know, I think our defensive pressure and activities waned too much at times this year, Griffin, and I think that has been the difference in this closing stretch of play the last couple of weeks, but certainly in this tournament has been our activity.
Adam.
First half, it seemed like you guys were really trying to maybe control the tempo a little bit. The way that they score, was that part of the game plan, trying to limit some of those things and just control the pace of the game?
You know, I think it would have been hard. Maybe we certainly, we beat them at our place in a high-scoring game. I think it was in the 90s. But I did feel like we weren't necessarily controlling tempo. I think we were just trying to get quality possessions. Now, I did not think we attacked their pressure well until the second half. I thought in the second half we were able to take advantage of their press and attack it, and we kept saying that in timeouts. Once it gets to the second line, attack. And I thought we did that better than what we did in the first half.
Dana on the third row.
Talked about them having to discover how to play the proper way. How difficult is it to wait for that maturity to come, and how do you kind of get a team to figure that out and get to that maturity point?
It was really hard, Dana. It was really hard. I think I questioned whether I was messaging the right things at times this year, because I didn't feel like they were hearing me. It almost felt like we needed to really go through serious struggles for them to understand there is a way in which we have to play in terms of trusting each other, and playing with the necessary, focus on the next possession. That's really hard for any new team, but a young team and a new team to understand. Our understanding of that is just really, really improved. And then I think even when we were losing, we were preaching that, and we said, hey, we will see the results eventually. And, fortunately, it's been validated.
Time for 2 more. Patrick in the second row, and then Steve on the left.
Chris, going back to Roddy, a guy who's now gone through a whole regular season, does that begin to change for a freshman at this point of the year where he can attack off the dribble like he did a couple times there, things that we just haven't seen him do a lot, but maybe now he's almost more towards his sophomore year and not as inexperienced as a freshman normally is?
Yeah, that certainly helps. I think all those guys have played so many minutes as freshmen. I mean, our 4 freshmen have played so many minutes that by this time there is a level of maturity. Now, maybe he's played the least amount, but maybe not. But he's certainly got a much better understanding. That was an action that we had not run a whole lot. A couple of the actions there late for him. And honestly, I felt like Bruce might have been fatiguing a little bit, so we just wanted another playmaker. We see that's who Roddy's going to be, and he was able to really execute there late.
We'll finish with Steve on the left.
Yeah, Coach, I want to ask about Bruce Thornton. You guys have put so much time and effort into working with him on how to lead the team and everything else. The 2 plays that really kind of stand out, the skip pass from Isaac, he hits the 3-pointer. Iowa was getting ready to maybe extend that and go on. And then obviously that drive at the end where he takes him off the dribble and hits a high bank shot. Just, you teach somebody to do something, that's great, but he's also got some abilities there.
He really does. His ability that makes him special is who he is as a kid and his competitiveness. he is an elite competitor. When he's playing his best, he is an elite competitor. I think he's an elite competitor for his age. And all the plays he makes, I mean, how many loose balls did he come up with again today when we really needed him? I love the fact that he was trying to, finish the game off and make that layup when it got whatever happened there. It kind of blacked out, I think. So I love this aggressiveness there. But he is an elite competitor, and he really has led the way.